All right, ladies and gentlemen, make a quick video here. Some people have made some comments saying that after leveling in Season of Discovery, especially on Paladin, where in Classic World of Warcraft we don't really have any buttons to push, right? Um, After leveling in Season of Discovery, they feel like they can't possibly go back to leveling in Classic World of Warcraft like the way it was in the past. This is Classic WoW era. This is Testpally. Let me log out here really fast just so we can double check that. What happened to me in Season of Discovery is I felt the exact same way for a long period of time, like, Crusader Strike and Divine Storm and actually having buttons to push. And I was like, man, how am I ever going to be able to go back to leveling in Classic World of Warcraft? And then somebody, so yes, there's Testpally, there's Reese Mage, and then there, of course, is Convictions, also formerly known as Pally Time. They make you change your names when the server transferred to Era. Someone made me do a video for Classic WoW Hardcore Solo Self-Found, right? And this forced me to get on Testpally here, who is a full Stamina Spirit, Intellect Paladin build. He is actually legitimately a monster. I think he's wearing all the right gear, if I recall correctly. And after just a little bit of playing with him in Classic World of Warcraft, I felt so much better about the open world experience and the leveling experience in Classic WoW than I did in Season of Discovery. I've been struggling to articulate this. This is actually the second video I've made on this topic, so I'm going to try to be a bit more concise here. I didn't post the other video, obviously. The first thing that I noticed from the difference between Season of Discovery is that the world is more dangerous, right? Obviously. They didn't really buff the mobs in Season of Discovery at all, so when you're leveling out there, you feel like a damn a Nax-geared Paladin at level 50, just, running through things and crushing things. No mana issues whatsoever. Your HP bar doesn't even fluctuate. You can throw Sacred Shield on yourself. I don't know why you're doing that, because you'll run out of mana, but you just take no damage, right? Not a very hostile world whatsoever. In Season of Discovery, your gear choices do not matter. Your talent choices barely matter. And all that really matters is your runes. It's like, are you wearing the right runes? Are you wearing the wrong runes? Duh. And you could literally have like starting a full set of starting zone gear or a full set of like level 10 gear, be level 50 wearing the right runes, and you'll just crush it into the dirt. A very kind of unsatisfying, unchallenging experience. But in Classic World of Warcraft, what happens is my talents matter because there are no runes to fall back on. My gearing matters because there are no runes to fall back on. The mobs are significantly more threatening because, again, there's no runes. They actually do damage to you. They actually take a while to die. Leveling is a slow and more interesting process. Leveling is so slow in Classic World of Warcraft that when you find ways to increase your leveling speed by 10%, 20%, those are huge, massive wins, and you can feel it, and you feel good about it. There's a reason to partner up with other people and to quest in the open world. Dual leveling is a thing in Classic World of Warcraft. Dual leveling is not a thing in Season of Discovery. There's a reason to do dungeons. Why do you, outside of just XP, why bother doing dungeons? Well, it's because gear actually matters. Does gear matter in Season of Discovery? No, not really. All that really matters is like your weapon, and the rest of your gear could be complete like nonsense. So there's a reason to do dungeons. When you're leveling, you can feel the gear mattering. So let's just do this really fast. This is a Stamina Spirit Paladin. She's a level 40 Holy Shock Paladin. You can see that we've got 32 Intellect, more than normal. We have 104 Spirit, more than normal. Every last bit of my gear has Spirit on it. I do believe it's just a pure Stamina Spirit build. But then every now and then, like the rings and so forth, and I think this neck piece over here, they have Intellect, Spirit, Intellect, Spirit, Intellect, Spirit. That's just to make the mana bar a little bit thicker than it otherwise would be. We're wearing, you know, a piece of mail gear, even though I could wear plate gear as a chest piece, just because this item has, like, you know, 17 damn spirit on it, and I've learned the value of spirit over the years. We're using a fast two-handed weapon with a good proc on hit, because we're going to be using a lot of Seal of Righteousness with this build, and Seal of Righteousness does ×2 proc chance any kind of stuff like that. This build is so obscenely mana efficient that if I... Yeah. Okay, so if I were to myself, well, let's just keep going. I need enough mana to do like 1 seal, which that should be good. So if I just sit here and I let this 30 seconds tick by, what you're going to see is that within about 30 seconds of spirit regeneration, I'll regenerate like damn near like 2/3, like 50% of my mana bar. It's actually a little bit insane. And you're going to see that in combat as well. So we have to wait for this SOR to fall off, and then we have to add another 5 seconds to it, because that's how long it takes Spirit Regeneration to start activating. And we want 30 seconds of Spirit Regeneration. Okay, so it fell off, so we want like 2 more ticks. Okay, boom. Yeah, we regenerated like 900 mana at level 40 just by like standing there with our dick in our hand. That is legitimately insane. Let's see how this actually works in practice here. Actually, I kind of want to swap that out. Let's do that instead. Yeah, let's do this. But basically, just like any other spirit regenerating build, you front load your damage, and then you just sit on your hands for an extended period of time. You let spirit regeneration do its thing. Some of the interesting things about this leveling process... we're about to lose our seal. That's really bad. Okay, I want to swap these again. Jesus. One thing that's really interesting... Put a holy shock in here. One thing that's interesting about the leveling process is the spirit gear is both throttled in a good way and a bad way. So let's say I do really good on my RNG and I kill this mob extremely quickly. That's the opposite is happening right now from what I can see. But if I get really good on RNG, well, right now we're getting horrible RNG, parry, parry, dodge, miss, parry, right? But if I get really good, crap, it fell off again. If I get really good RNG on killing the mobs, this means that my mana will deplete faster, because it's like a first world problem type scenario where I will have less mana moving on to the next mob, but if I get really unlucky in killing the mob, it just gives more time for spirit regeneration to do its thing. Right now, we're getting objectively insanely unlucky right now. On average, we'll kill these mobs in about 17 seconds. We're just being incredibly unlucky. You can tell how unlucky I'm being, mostly because of how mana efficient I am. Normally, these mobs just like fold quite quickly. So I'll just shut up and focus here for a second. God damn it. Stop missing. Stop it. All right, we're just gonna burn some mana and start moving on here. I'm tired of this. But what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to run up to the mob, hit them once, judge the damage, then exorcism them, and then just let spirit regeneration do its thing. You can see that we are taking damage. This is not Season of Discovery. Our gear actually matters. Our game choices matter. Whether we push buttons or not matters. So Season of Discovery, if I'm not pushing a button, I'm doing something wrong. In classic World of Warcraft, if I'm not pushing a button, I am 100% not doing something wrong at all. This lady might be a little bit of a challenge. About to fall off. Nice. One more hit, one more judge? Yeah, okay. Wisdom, about to fall off. We might actually have to heal ourselves. I gotta go answer the door, I think. But we'll see here in a sec. You'll notice I'm not drinking at all. Part of that is I'm getting really unlucky with these mobs. Holy crap. I'm not 100% sold on the Holy Shock build. I think it might be better if I actually had precision than the Holy Shock. But Testpally was just basically testing Holy Shock. It does have its uses. Like, if I get really unlucky, normally... Where the fuck is the next mob? Holy balls. I'm just not showcasing the power of this thing. That is really annoying. Oh well, whatever. Thank you. You'll notice I don't want to fight 2 mobs, because this is classic. There's just no advantage to it, really, whatsoever. Oh, I could do this. I forgot about that. Get a little bit more damage. These guys do attack quite quickly. But it's supposed to look more like this, where you kill them quite fast, you just move on to the next mob, X them, hit, judge, and then reseal, and you just keep doing it. And if I kill really quickly, what'll happen is my mana will drop quite low. And if, of course, if I get unlucky, which has been happening this whole time, like that's more normal. Yeah, so we've got plenty of time to do this. Hit once, judge, and chill. So when I get unlucky, my mana goes up a lot higher than normal. When I have first world problems and I'm killing the mob super quick, that's when the mana will actually go low. Yeah, red aura a little bit better. I can dig that. Okay, now we're showing the power here. I want the spirit regeneration as long as possible. Ah, screwed that up. Seal, you bastard. Okay. Do. Mm-hmm. Showing the power. Miss. I'm so low mana that when I see misses and dodges, I become happy. Okay, so the TLDR on this, because I didn't want to make this video too terribly long. I just wanted to get a decent showcase of whether this is good or bad. I also need to pause the video and go check the door really fast. I am expecting somebody, so I might have to go do that. Yeah, so we'll just pause the video here in a second. As soon as we kill this guy. Actually, considering spirit regeneration, let's just end it. Yeah. Other great thing about spirit regen is that when you are sitting down, you actually increase the health regeneration part at least by 50%. I'm just gonna go check the door. I'm gonna let it run. It was a delivery. That's what the dogs were on about. Yeah. Okay. So the TLDR on all of this is that when I'm in Classic World of Warcraft, I'm tickled pink by the fact that my gear matters. I'm tickled pink about the fact that my gearing choices matter. This makes me want to actually go get the gear, want to actually go into dungeons. In Season of Discovery, there's none of that. It's literally just wear the right runes. So you literally just go get your runes and you're pretty much good to go. You don't care about gearing, which I don't like. In theory, you might be able to buff the mobs and make them a lot scarier in Season of Discovery, but then very quickly you're just going to have a classic WoW leveling experience. Like, I have all these runes and I have all this gear and it's still kind of rough out here, right? You know, they don't want to do that because Season of Discovery is its own thing. Let's again. Takes a while to Maybe if I spam the seals are kind of expensive. Yeah, let's because if it crit heals, yeah, it'll just give me my mana back. Yeah, and the world is a lot more dangerous. Other fun things about Classic World of Warcraft is, unlike Season of Discovery, it's actually possible to screw up your gearing. In Season of Discovery, it's almost impossible to screw up your runes. Like, I don't want to know what level of IQ you need to screw up your runes while leveling as any class in Season of Discovery. I mean, it's not rocket science which one to do. Oh, that's one thing I actually want to test. I forget if my spirit regeneration increases when I'm sitting down or not. And we can test that really fast here. All right, /sit. All right, cool. See if we get more than 50% mana regeneration after this. I think it's just health. But if you follow a classic WoW leveling guide and you just wear the right gear, basically, yeah, it doesn't look like it's increasing at all. If you just wear the right gear, and you bother to actually, like, wear the right gear, use the right kind of weapon, you end up having a similar leveling speed experience. Or I wouldn't say speed because they have all those XP boosts, right? You kill mobs in classic WoW about as fast as you kill them in Season of Discovery, to be perfectly honest with you. You have similar downtime to Season of Discovery. Case in point would be Paladin. We've been discovering that stamina spirit gear is definitely the way to go on Paladin when you're leveling, like unironically. You just literally go find mobs you can use exorcism on, and you're pretty much good to go. The reason for this is very simple. Paladins do about 80% of their damage butt naked with a two-handed weapon. When we put on strength stamina gear for leveling, we end up with like a plus 25% damage bonus, compared to the spirit gear, which gives us like almost no downtime whatsoever. The only reason we're having downtime around here is because we're using Holy Shock and Exorcism, which are like basically first world problems, right? So you end up with like no downtime. And the warrior leveling, interestingly enough, has discovered the exact same thing. I got to get out of here before the respawns happen. So warriors, when they level in classic World of Warcraft these days, they wear stamina, spirit, mail, and plate gear as well. And the reason they do that is because, just like Paladin, they do 80% of their damage butt naked with a good two-handed weapon. And unlike Paladin, Paladin, the spirit regeneration is split 50% between the health regeneration and the mana regeneration. And so what happens on a warrior is, if you've ever seen a stamina spirit warrior leveling before, is they'll fight and they'll end a fight with like a minus 50% life. And then in 10 seconds, they will regenerate almost all of that missing health. It is literally insane. And so what ends up happening is their normal combat rotation for a warrior in Classic WoW, like a strength stamina warrior, would be they fight for like 30 seconds and then they have to, like, eat for like 20 seconds. They have like 20 seconds of downtime for every 30 seconds of fighting, right? But the stamina spirit build has almost no downtime whatsoever. And having no downtime, almost no downtime whatsoever, and just being able to go from mob to mob to mob to mob to mob almost constantly in combat, is way more valuable for a warrior than a plus 25% damage bonus. Really, really fascinating to watch. And as it turns out, the exact same thing happens to Paladin. Having no downtime and doing about 80% of your DPS, compared to a strength stamina build, is just way more valuable than just about anything else that you can possibly do with Paladin. I think even rogues are starting to get behind stamina spirit gear, like unironically. It's really bizarre in Classic WoW. But again, you can see where I'm beginning to ramble here, where my thoughts are a little incoherent about... One of the things that it's making me really incoherent in trying to explain this is... It's easy for me to explain why Classic WoW leveling is better than Season of Discovery leveling, and why, if you've actually... And please, in the comment section below, because I need to know this. I need to know how many of you have had the exact same thought and experience, where you were in Season of Discovery leveling, and you're like, man, I don't think I can ever go back to Classic WoW leveling again. And then you actually go back to Classic WoW leveling, and you're like, holy crap, this is just so much better. Part of the reason why it's so difficult for me to express this is because it's easy for me to explain why it's better than Season of Discovery, but it's harder for me to identify, is it better than Season of Discovery if Season of Discovery made a few changes, right? If the mobs took longer to kill in Season of Discovery, if the mobs hit harder in Season of Discovery. It could very easily buff the mobs in Season of Discovery to the point where your gearing actually matters and you actually want to go into the dungeons and pick up that gear, because all the mobs in the open world are basically elites, right? So, for example, if I run down here and I aggro 3 mobs in Season of Discovery, this is something you can do. in classic WoW, this is a terrible, awful, no good idea. Like, don't do this at home, kids. Yeah, we're about to get absolutely obliterated. I will do my best, but we got to kill as many of these mobs as quickly as we can. Might even throw a consecration down here. Okay, that's not good. We missed. Okay, one dead. Okay, cool. Alright, so I actually need Spirit Regeneration to do its thing. We have another mob coming off in the distance. Things are a little dire, but we're just going to hang in there. Yeah, we are definitely using Bubble. Alright, so I want Exorcism, Judge. Maybe I stun this guy because they do kick. And we'll get a free crit heal in. Bada bing, bada boom. Right back at him. And we're just going to let Spirit Regeneration take the wheel. When this fourth one comes here, we'll have to deal with that. This is something you would not want to... In Season of Discovery, this is like super easy, right? But in classic World of Warcraft, that's like some butt puckering stuff right there. Again, Spirit Regeneration. We're just going to run right up, hit her, judge her, shock her. No stun available, and we're just going to chill. And miss. Okay. But again, a well-built, properly geared Paladin, that was dangerous. Seriously? Ah. No. Fuck off. Ugh. I guess I'm on my 5th mob. Fine, whatever. Just be on the 5th mob, I guess. Yeah, but you can see how stressful that is. Right? Don't try this at home, kids. In Season of Discovery, I wouldn't even... My mana bar would be full. My HP bar would be full. Everything would be perfectly fine. And I could be wearing, like, level 10 gear with runes. And I would be exactly 0% stressed out. By the time I loot all these things, I'm literally going to be full mana again, aren't I? Jesus. But I still need to heal. I want to sit really fast. I want to see that. Just how quickly that is. 55, 80, 59. This is closer to what it looks like for a warrior, but it's almost twice as fast than this is a warrior. It's objectively disgusting watching stamina spirit gear on a warrior do its thing. Yes, sir. Okay. So, yeah, so that's why it makes it hard for me to identify. But in my opinion, it's like, if they buffed all the mobs in Season of Discovery, made them hit as hard as elites, and like doubled their HP bar, all that would happen would be you've just created a classic WoW leveling experience in Season of Discovery, right? You've created an experience where if 3 mobs are on you, shit is going to get real. You've created an experience where your gear matters on top of your runes mattering at the same time, which I think makes the game better. And I damn well know it makes classic World of Warcraft better, to be perfectly honest with you. But then again, there's other things that don't matter. You're always going to have full mana the vast majority of the time, you know, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so anyways, I'm rambling. I'm going to shut the hell up. I'm going to end the video here, and day is full, boys.